Good morning, Roll Gang. Welcome on in to this Fuck Yeah Friday edition of the Weekday Wake and Bake. I'm Processor Sky, and I am here with another episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake for you guys. Artist Kenny Lapier was supposed to be on the show today, but something really surprising happened to her, and she was not able to make it last minute. But super excited to be here on this Fuck Yeah Friday version of the Weekday Wake and Bake. There's a Kush fan saying hey on the stream here this morning. Shout out Big Smoke 302200. Shout out For Dandy. So hyped that you got your spoons, For Dandy. But anyways, today is Fuck Yeah Friday. I wanted to share with you guys about I had an absolutely crazy day yesterday. I was dispensaries representing the Chamber of Cannabis. This event coming up is going to be an absolute banger, so wanted to talk about what I did yesterday for them. But I also got a last minute invite to the G4 Live Bud Tender Awards. Huge shout out to Sky Rain, a Sky Shall Rain on Instagram. She hooked your boy up with some tickets to the show last minute, and I just appreciate it so much, Sky. And I had an absolutely crazy day there, so I'm really excited to share with you guys. Good morning, For Dandy. Good morning to all the Roll Gang. Let's get on in to this episode. Welcome on in to the Weekday Wake and Bake Friday, and we are going to be smoking up some pot just like every single weekday morning at 8 a.m. sharp Pacific time. And basically, yeah, that's just what we do. We, grind up some herb, got to roll it up with a spoon, a nice little joint paper, and then just spark it up, chat about some random stuff, especially here on Fuck Yeah Friday. And boy, do I have some juice to share with you guys about my crazy hectic day yesterday. So thank you to everybody tuning in on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Every single one of you guys is so special to me, and I just appreciate your support more than you know, and I support you back. Shout out Bruce LJ Martin Jr. on Instagram in the comments section. Good morning to you. What's up, bro? Knowers Kush fan. Good morning, Roll Gang. It is absolutely great to see you guys this morning. I am so excited to get on into this. So yesterday, I visited 9 dispensaries. I went around all over Las Vegas passing out flyers and rolling spoons for this Chamber of Cannabis event coming up with Steve Yeager. So Steve Yeager is a chairman here in Las Vegas. He writes different bills and laws and tries to get them passed. The most famous one that he's written, he is the guy that put pen to paper on the consumption lounge here in Las Vegas. So Steve Yeager, the guy possible here. Shout out Canna Planet and Mercedington. Yeah, Mercedington says, hope to see Roll Gang Rach join in again soon. So she is scheduled to be on next. So really, thank you Mercedington for looking out for Roll Gang Rach, our original co-host here on the Wake and Bake. But yeah, so 9 different dispensaries from Essence to MedMen to Wallflower, just running around Las Vegas handing out flyers because Steve Yeager is writing bills that are helping cannabis users not get DUIs when they get pulled over with some pot in the car. He's writing bills so that we can smoke in consumption lounges. And he's writing bills so that cannabis just isn't as demonized as it once was. And this support for this is huge, so we just have to support him in return. And so that's why I have these flyers. I am super excited about this Chamber of Cannabis event on Saturday, May 21st. And if you guys care to support a lawmaker that's actually supporting us in return, writing some laws to help normalize cannabis, then come to the event. I would absolutely love to hang out with you guys and see you guys at the show. We could have a sesh there, and it is going to be a shindig. This event, the Chamber of Cannabis always throws awesome events, so this Steve Yeager one is going to be absolutely no different. And yesterday, whenever I was running around Las Vegas, all the dispensaries and promoting the event, the excitement was so real because us stoners, we just like to smoke weed, like this morning. I'm just really excited to have a nice sesh with you guys. And honestly, if somebody is supporting our sesh, we should theoretically support them back in return. And Steve Yeager is he's so supportive of stoners. He's in a role where he can be supportive, politically. And he uses his platform for good for us. And so we have to return the favor and, pub the show. Shout out Bruce Martin in the comments section. He needs to purchase pounds. Holy cow. So Bruce Martin shopping on the show, shopping for some pounds. He's got 2 ounces in Nevada, 2 ounces. Oh wait, actually I think he's talking about how much you can carry, Bruce Martin, but let me know. Anyways, so after I was going around and passing out flyers for the Chamber of Cannabis, I got to go. Huge shout out, huge thanks to Sky Rain. I really am so excited to tell you guys about all the juice that happened at the G4 Live Bud Tender Awards yesterday. But before I get on into it, this show is indeed brought to you by Cannabis Multi-Tool. So it's basically helps you scoop your herb, helps you sweep it, recollect it into a nice little pile. And then you got the poker end. You can't be in Vegas without the poker. So this episode is indeed brought to you by this rolling spoon, helping me to roll a dime every time, helping you to roll a dime every time. So G4 Live Bud Tender Awards. Oh my goodness. I went in at around 3 o'clock. And I stayed till the very end at 5. Wow, this is nice. Smoking on some apple fritters this morning. Yeah, shout out Mercedington with the spoon emojis and the green heart emojis. I think those are my 2 favorite emojis, Mercedington. But she asks, what are some of the... That's a great question. So they're going to crown the Bud Tender of the Year, the Influencer of the Year, the Cannabis Model, Cannabis Company, the Dispensaries. There's a whole bunch of different categories that awards will be given away. So yesterday was actually the first day of the event, and I just wanted to go and check it out, the first day. I'm definitely gonna go back today because a really great friend of mine, Sarah, is doing a talk. So make sure to tap into the Instagram story. We'll be keeping you guys updated as normal. But yesterday was an absolute tough. I didn't even know that I was gonna get to go to the show until later in the day when Sky Rain hooked your boy up with some tickets. She got them sponsored, and she wasn't able to come cross country to get in, so she transferred me the tickets. What an absolute MVP move, because this absolutely made my day. So I showed up, I parked, and I walked in, and the first thing I see is this absolutely massive, expansive display floor with just cannabis companies. It was absolutely gnarly. Just stacked up, stack after stack after stack, row by row. The first booth I visited was the High Bud Tenders podcast booth. So I rolled in, and guess what? There's giving away rolling spoons at their High Bud Tenders booth. Huge shout out to the High Bud Tenders podcast. They were trapping the spoons. It was so amazing to see them. Rocky and Jarrell, the hosts for the High Bud Tenders podcast, are some of Vegas's finest cannabis influencers. And it was just so exciting to see them there. I popped out my phone. I made an amazing story because it was so exciting to see them. And so exciting to see the rolling spoons on their table. People were just grabbing them and walking by. And Rocky said that it was such a good conversation piece, a good conversation starter. And I just love that the spoons have the High Bud Tenders handle on it so that the people who grab the spoons can follow the handle and listen to their amazing product, their amazing podcast. I am actually a former guest on the High Bud Tenders podcast. I was on season 2, episode 23, and I absolutely loved it. My experience with the podcast was amazing. I fell in love with Rocky and Jarrell, some of the best people I've met here in Vegas so far. And I am super ecstatic to announce that both of them will be making appearances on the Weekday Wake and Bake coming very soon, actually sooner than you know. So I was talking to Cannabis Rocky, and she said she would be interested in coming on the very next show, Motivational Monday, to kick off the next week with Cannabis Rocky from the High Bud Tenders podcast. So make sure you guys tune in next week, 8 a.m. Pacific time on Monday. It'll be me and Cannabis Rocky. It is going to be such an epic wake and bake. But that is just the first booth I visited. So I was walking by one of the grand stages, and I hear a voice that I recognize. Guys, this part is actually kind of epic. So I hear this voice, super passionate, woman's voice, but such a strong woman. And I look over, and it's none other than the president of my alumni, Oaksterdam University, Jones. And my brain cracked like an egg. So 5 years ago, I am lucky enough to graduate in person, Oakland, California, from the first ever cannabis college, Oaksterdam University. I graduated with a certificate in horticulture from Dale Sky Jones and her amazing horticulture husband and horticulture professor at the school, Jeff Jones. So I look over and oh my goodness, it's Dale Sky Jones. And who is in the back watching and supporting his wife? My very own horticulture professor from school 5 years ago, Jeff Jones. I got goosebumps all over my body. It was absolutely amazing. Like, I had no idea that Oaksterdam was coming to Vegas to represent their brand, but I am such a proud Oaksterdam University alumnus, and to see them in my city and at the convention that I was lucky enough to go to, oh my, smile from ear to ear. So what did I do? I naturally went to go sit down and listen to the rest of Dale Sky Jones' talk. Sat front row to represent my alumnihood, and I loved seeing her and hearing her voice. She's one of the finest cannabis activists in the country. If you guys don't know her, you gotta look her up. I mean, she is really famous, honestly, in the cannabis industry. Built Oaksterdam University into what it is today, and she is just such an influence to me in my life. She was talking about investing in your team, investing in the knowledge of your team by educating through Oaksterdam, and it really is super magical. Yeah, Mercedington says full circle. Really, it seriously is. And Don Solo with the I mean, it's honestly such an exciting thing. And you guys will not believe it, but after her talk, I wanted to walk up, reintroduce myself, and give her a rolling spoon, and she fucking recognized me. She said, "Oh my goodness, it's so great to see you again in class." And again, like, my already mind cracked like an egg. Oh, now she scrambled it, and now I'm just an omelet. Like, I didn't even know what to say. I was super starstruck, but I went up and I was just like, I can't even tell you guys what you did for my knowledge of the industry and of the plant, and what you did to motivate me to get to where I am today. And I got to give her a rolling spoon, and they were talking about getting Oaksterdam University rolling spoons. Gives me shocking chills down my spine. So I'm actually going to shoot. They booked me as a alumnus to do a little bit of content at the show. They were trying to find people who had attended Oaksterdam, and I said I would love to do it. So I'm actually going back to do that and to support my friend Sarah, who is speaking today. But it was absolutely amazing to see the Oaksterdam University squad there, and just the fact I got an amazing picture with Jeff Jones and Dale Sky Jones. I'm definitely gonna post it, but it just made me feel awesome to see my former teacher and his amazing activist wife. Yo, shout out Bruce Martin NV lighting up joint number 2. Let's go, Bruce. Good for you. That's a solid wake and bake. I am super jealous. And Mercedington, Don Solo says, "What are you smoking on?" I got the apple fritters, man. I needed some limonene in my life here for the show. So I've been smoking some apple fritters on the show here recently, Don Solo. 517. Thank you for the comment. And thank you everybody tapping in, listening to me chat it up about the G4 Bud Tender Awards. Anyways, I'm going to be going back to the show today and doing more coverage. So much juice happening, and I enjoy you guys tapping in. But before I seal up the show, I have one more story for y'all. But before I give you guys the juice, just a reminder that this episode is brought to you by this all-in-one cannabis multi-tool, helping you seal the deal and roll a dime every time. Make sure you get yourself a rolling spoon. Hit the DMs if you don't have one, and if you do have one, then let me know how you like it. Let me know if you're using it, because I think it's super handy to me. I don't know if I could roll a dime every time without it. Mercedington smoking on that Silverback number 4 today. That sounds dank as hell. Some Silverback number 4. She's absolutely killing it. Shout out Mercedington. But anyways, so along with the G4 Live X Bud Tender Awards banger that I went to, has to be banger. So I was actually, Sky passed on the details. Huge shout out Sky Rain for making this all possible. She hooked me up with the details for this mansion party consumption lounge. You guys, it was absolutely nuts. The High Bud Tenders gang was there. The Rove gang was there. But you guys, I got absolutely cooked. And not off smoke, not off dabs, but they had infused food. Like regular food and drinks. Infused lemonade and infused dips and stuff. And I just imbibed. I just went full munchie mode on it. And like next thing you know, I was like, my phone died. My phone died, and that's when I realized, like, holy shit, like, I didn't even smoke, and I'm this high. Like, shit is going down. So I was going around just having a hell of a time. There was a pool in the backyard, so I was really trying hard to stay away from it, because I knew if I got within 5 feet of that thing, I was going in. Like, it was crazy. I lost my equilibrium. But Mike Tyson sponsoring the show, whole bunch of edibles, and they had a vacuum they packed with like a 1/4 pound of weed, and then they torched it all and just fogged the party. It was literally insane. And yeah, I was blazed out my ass. Shout out Mercedington, Munchie Mode, and Don Solo, nice rolling tray. Yeah. So Kenny Lapier, the girl who made on the show today, but she sadly had to miss because of some last minute difficulties. It happens, it's really early in the morning, so it's kind of tough. But on Monday, the very next episode of the Weekday Wake and Bake, I coordinated out with Cannabis Rocky of the High Bud Tenders podcast at the Bud Tender Awards. Cannabis Rocky will be Monday with some original Cannabis Rocky motivational quotes. I am literally ecstatic that she agreed to come onto the show, because she is literally like a Vegas cannabis celebrity. One of the most famous, most well-known and loved cannabis personalities here in Vegas. And I am just so excited to bring her on the show so that we can all sesh with her, Roll Gang, because she is a valuable sesh mate. And you guys are all valuable sesh mates, like truly, from the bottom of my heart. I love coming on here and smoking with you guys every weekday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time for the Weekday Wake and Bake. And this has been an awesome episode. Fuck yeah Friday episode. Shout out everybody to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You guys are all the shit. The comment section was awesome today. I see Facebook Ticker even got some comments. Shout out Roz. And just ecstatic to have everybody be a part of this. And shout out to you guys, Roll Gang. I will see you guys on Monday. This has been another awesome week of Weekday Wake and Bakes. Thank you guys for tuning in. And no matter how you're getting it, I appreciate you, and I absolutely love session with you guys. Have an amazing weekend, and make sure to tune in. Check out the G4 Live. I'm going to be back there today taking a couple more videos.